Hi everyone, Reverend Dr. Katie here, and I'm really happy to be coming to you this week. I happen to be recording this just October 28th, a few days before Halloween, and so I'm going to speak specifically about the energy this time of year, but actually what I'm going to say can really apply to all times of the year, to your whole life, so no matter when you're watching this or where you're watching it, it should apply. And just as a note for our YouTube community, you might want to come on over to the Metaphysical Christian and join this Facebook group, which is full of amazing, awesome people. So let's talk about energy this time of year and about the dangers of either or thinking. So many of us grew up in environments where it was either this or this. You could be a Christian or you could like follow the devil and talk about chakras. You could be a Christian or you could dress up in a Halloween costume. And there's obviously like a lot of nuances there. Like maybe you could dress up in a costume, but then, doing anything beyond that was kind of getting into devil work, was getting into all the stuff that you're not, so that like Christians aren't supposed to be about. So what happens when we have this either or thinking, when we have this kind of black and white thinking? My major question for all of you is, does that help your spiritual journey or does that hurt your spiritual journey? And if you have either or thinking, does that prevent you from kind of getting into the spirit of the season, from experiencing all of the beautiful energy, the thinning of the veil that happens around this time of year? Does that prevent you from, for instance, honoring All Saints' Day, which is a Christian holiday that a lot of Protestants don't acknowledge, that don't even know about? Does that prevent you from getting to know saints who have gone before you? Does that prevent you from getting to know your spiritual ancestors? Does either or, black or white thinking, prevent you from like healing your family line, from healing your ancestral line? Does that either or thinking keep you stuck so that you're not exploring your metaphysical gifts? Does that keep you from actually embracing all that God has to offer you? And does that keep you from offering your gifts to the world? So when we start thinking about that either or thinking, and so many of us, grew up with that, and sometimes we have either or thinking about things we don't even know about. Like all of a sudden it'll pop up and we didn't even know that that was there. And we find ourselves thinking that we can do either this or this. So what I'm asking you to do today is to maybe consider, just kind of try on for a minute or two, instead of either or thinking, what would it be like to have both and thinking? That I can both be a Christian and be into metaphysics. And in fact, maybe those are one and the same. Maybe they're not either or at all. Maybe they're both and. Maybe they're actually right here, like they're right on top of one another. And how would that feel? So how would that impact your October? How would that impact your getting in touch with the energy that's all around us right now, with this thinning of the veil, with the spirit, the spirit world and our physical 3D world really being very close right now? And that means that you, if you're an intuitive, energetic, empathic person, which of course, obviously you are, if you're here and you're watching this, you then have the ability to sense some of that a little more closely. And this is an opportunity that God has built into our, our physical world, the planet that we live in, into this dimension, in order for us to be able to experience at certain times of year this spirit connection more closely, and to really be attuned to that, to really be attentive to that. So we can have both our Christian walk, our Christian journey, our Christian experience, keeping Jesus as the front and center, and all of these beautiful dimensions, all of these beautiful opportunities to connect, to touch, to be reminded of the abundance of God in the spirit world. It's this time of year when we can actually maybe kind of pierce through that veil just a little bit in ways that are life-giving and ways that are life-affirming. So that danger of either or thinking, especially, within our spiritual lives, is that it can close us in. It makes God very small. It puts God in a box that we've created, rather than opening up the box so that we can fill the abundance, feel F-E-E-L, and fill, F-I-L-L, our spirits into the abundance that is God and all of God's creation. So the either or thinking really has the danger of shutting our spirits down. It makes our spirits like very small, and it makes us it makes us constantly question, and it makes us constantly not get started, on our journey, because we think we have to be either this or this, and then we feel very split in two. And it's, I mean, like that can just be so soul sucking. And so this time of year, when we can adopt that both and thinking, we can really open ourselves up to all of the energy that is around us and sense that spirit in a new way. And so this time of year is the time of year to begin to maybe explore that. If you have been stuck in that either or thinking, that black white thinking, and you don't think it's serving you anymore, do reach out and we can talk about some options for getting you into the full expansiveness that your soul deserves, that your soul longs for, to answering some of those questions, to make so that you can really experience that Christianity and metaphysics are not two separate things. They're actually one and the same. And this is the time of year when one of the times of year when we can actually experience that the most, which is pretty amazing. So I love this month and this time of year and all the connections that are happening. Of course, Halloween this year, when I'm recording this, is a full moon. It's a blue moon. That means that there's 2 full moons that happen within the same month. So it's a particular time for connecting. And so my desire is for all of you to have the fullness of your spirit expanded as much as possible by that time, so that you can really tap into that energy at a deep level, so that you can connect with everything that God means for you to connect with. That's the only way we can get out there and do our mission, right? If we're not connected, we can't live our purpose. If we're not connected, we're not going to live our mission to the fullest of our ability. And we're going to have to, figure that out over the next, it will take years and years, decades and decades to figure that out more. So now is the time. So actually the commitment that I think I'm inviting everyone to make right now is to commit to yourself to living that both and lifestyle, to getting out of the either or way of thinking, and to do whatever it takes to commit yourself to your spiritual path, to your spiritual journey. That's what I'm here for. Reach out if I can be helpful. I would love to connect with all of you. Thank you. I love the comment that came in from one of the graduates of Awakening Transformation. That's amazing. Yes. And part of a church tradition where they celebrate all of this and can sense all of this energy. So I love, love, love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that's it for today. All right, everyone. I will see you later. Just write any comments here. You can reach out to me via private message or email, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.